My name is Jeff Meacham. I am a principal technical engineer here at Trellix. And apparently, despite being a professional and having a professional background, clearly I do not know how Zoom backgrounds work. So if that's what you're hoping to learn today, I apologize. That is a different webinar altogether. But we're going to go ahead and talk about how we can unlock AI-driven security in your environment using Trellix and, of course, Amazon Bedrock in action. Now, I want to be respectful of you guys' time. I know we're going over. I'm going to try to keep it to my 20 minutes, but I really want to introduce you to your new bestest friend and analyst, that being Trellix. And honestly, we've made it so simple that to integrate it, that really 20 minutes is all I'll need. So, kick things off. First, we're going to give a little bit of background on what Trellix is, just in case you're slightly new to this. Now, really, Trellix is a place where cybersecurity meets innovation. And I know that sounds cheesy, but real talk, the world, we've been talking about what a game changer ChatGPT is. And it is. I actually haven't had to write an email all by myself in months. It's been great. But we have, as a company, we've actually been using AI for a while. So some background, Ron made mention of this. McAfee was founded back in 1987, and FireEye was founded in 2004. 2013, we acquired Mandiant, and although we did break up with them, we're still really good friends, and we still share a lot of threat intel between each other. Trellix was founded in 2022. And then we started with our AWS expanded integrations. But down here at the bottom, you can actually see we've been using machine learning and artificial intelligence for about 10, 11 years at this point. Like in 2014, we created analytics such as impossible travel. 2016, we launched our guided investigations. 2016 is when we integrated with next gen and machine learning. And then 2023 is where we launched AI-driven auto investigations. All of this we are going to talk about more here in just a moment. So this is our full integrated stack. As you can see, we have over 600 integration partners helping us, providing us with third-party data and threat intelligence. And we can get this data into our Trellix Wise using Cloud Connect. And we use Cloud Connect for extended detection and response, which just gives you guys that complete visibility into your environment, whether you're using our HX or EDR, EX for email, NDR for network stuff, or even the IVX. And this is all great. This is all wonderful. We could do separate webinars about each one of these. We're getting that data into the platform where it goes through your analytic modules to be parsed and indexed and gives you nice dashboards. But really, what I want to talk about is our relationship with Amazon and how that really has been a game changer for analysts. So you can see Amazon is one of our partners, and yes, we use them for storage. Yes, we use their security lakes and CloudTrails. We have over 13 integrations with them. But really, I want to talk about the winner, and that is going to be the Amazon Gateway Bedrock, which is their Gen AI. So how do we use it? Well, first, we need to look back just a moment. This is our pre-AI approach, and this is still what is used today. And your company might still be doing this today, generally speaking. You know, we have our wonderful data sources, which goes to our data lake and our machine learning models. And hopefully, somehow, we're able to catch anomalies. I mean, alerts are easy. Anomalies, not necessarily so. And then depending on your environment, maybe more often than not, we start to get false positives. And so the human aspect is coming into control. They're using their search services, and they're trying to weed through all of these true or false positives. And you know, maybe with those anomalies, maybe we catch them. If it is a zero-day attack, if it's an insider threat, you know, chances are maybe not. And we have to waste a lot of time searching, leveraging, pinging our coworkers, asking for help, and generally just wasting a lot of time catching these false positives. It's kind of like the Where's Waldo, where he's in a barber pole factory. It is very frustrating to find our Waldo. So is this methodology effective? Yeah, I'm not going to tell you that you guys are all wasting your time or whatnot. That would be crazy because for a long time, it has been working. We're taking data, we're matching it, we're searching through our haystacks for that needle. But what doesn't work is really the timing of everything. We don't have enough time in the day to catch everything. We don't have enough staff. And imagine trying to make an argument that, hey, we need more resources, we need more people, when we're not already producing viable results or true positives. And real talk, let me see if my manager is part of this call, actually. Okay, yeah, we look good. Nope, all good. So, real talk. For decades, since we all first got into cybersecurity, we as an industry, as the world, we actually haven't been doing so well. Yes, average dwell times are finally coming down. Yes, that could be because of ransomware or because attackers are becoming more efficient. But the hop and the skip to LinkedIn, you can see a lot of job postings looking for qualified cybersecurity analysts that just aren't getting filled. And meanwhile, we're still struggling against all this data that's coming in. So let's talk about our response to that. Let's talk about the new generation of cybersecurity, how AI is solving these problems for us. And boom, here we go. So now instead of having multiple steps, we have one coherent thought or path to finding the answer. We're no longer talking about hours or even minutes to solve an alert, but rather seconds. We have that AI, which is performing more than any singular slide could possibly show. So first, it's going through this whole process again. We have our data sources, data lakes, machine learning, anomalies. Right here with the Amazon Bedrock, AI is asking questions about the attack, and it's taking it a step further to answer those questions as well. So for example, it's saying, hey, is this the first time Jeff created a scheduled attack? Scheduled task. Or is it expected for Jeff to log into our environment from Wakanda? And then Amazon Bedrock, it's answering these questions with evidence pointing to those exact logs or events. And it even provides remediation recommendations. It's literally showing us how to solve the problem, which I'll demo here in just a moment. But for a junior analyst, it's wonderful. It's great. It's a powerful tool, even for our senior analysts. In fact, I would argue that based off the results that we are getting and that the AI is bringing forth, you're turning that junior analyst into a senior analyst and that senior analyst into a superhero. So I'm promising you guys this amazing analyst that loves working overtime, loves working on the weekends 24/7. Well, how does it actually work though? Well, it uses its initial findings to investigate. It uses sub-second data retrieval times for grabbing those answers, and pre-built investigations for generative AI to ask the right questions. In fact, let's say I have a billion events. That will go through our rules, our analytics engines, our threat intelligence, and maybe, yeah, we have 1,000 anomalies, and Trellix Wise comes in, and it gives us about 10 good alerts to look at. And I mean, tie over my shoulder, right? I mean, how could you imagine how long it would take to actually go through these events and try to identify true positives? That'd take forever. Instead, we don't do that. We're automating this. We're using Gen AI to do this for us. And this might seem like big talk for somebody that looks like he'd weigh 100 pounds soaking wet. So don't take my word for it. Let's take a look at an example case right here. And in this case, we're looking at an anomalous console login. So here, in this case, we're saying we have someone resetting a password from somewhere else in the world, like Wakanda or wherever. Now, analytically speaking, or being the cybersecurity professionals that we are, we could say, yeah, this is indicative of an attacker who figured out Jeff's password and is now locking Jeff out. But in the real world, this actually happens a lot, right? If that person travels, if we're part of a large organization, we could see weird logins, RDP, VPNs. So which one is actually true then? Well, that's where AI takes the reign. So all our investigative tips, again, this is coming in with contextual context, asking questions about this alert and showing us the answers to verify information about the user or the events that it sees. So it might ask, okay, what other users were involved? Is it normal for Jeff to go to Disneyland and then reset his password? What else was happening at this time? It has these very investigative questions and answering those for us. But again, tie over my shoulder. How long do you think this would take a normal person to complete? To not only think of the questions, but then answer it with evidence. So if you guys are in the days of John Henry versus the machine, answering questions like, is user currently traveling? What level of access does this user have? What did they do after they reset their password? Then yeah, it might take you up to 13 minutes to build these searches and answer these questions, where our AI, we're able to do that in under 45 seconds. And even then, and mind you, you guys have to keep this more secret than I am, so please don't tell my manager, but it says it takes 13 human minutes. Honestly, there is no way I could solve this in 13 minutes. Whoever can do this really is the John Henry of our time, but even then, you can see that the machine does it much quicker. So let's take a look at this in the real world. I'm actually going to deviate from my slides really quick and show you guys what it looks like in the tool, just because I know we're short on time. So let's actually jump right into the console. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just a little bit. Now, mind you, AI wrote all of these notes right here. This was not me. I can't write sentences with that many syllables. So right here, we have AI showing, okay, has this been escalated? How many events were analyzed? 117. How much human time was saved? And it's saying 10 minutes and 15 seconds. If you look at this, I don't think I could type that out, even just type it out in 10 minutes and 15 seconds. That'd take me a minute. Now, right here, we do have these questions. Okay, were there any other rules that fired for this user? What kinds of logs were recently generated for the host names? What are the top Windows events for those host names? But really, what I think is most interesting is the actual analysis that our AI is doing. So right here, it's saying, hey, multiple suspicious processes and methodology detection rules have fired. The user Kimmy has been associated with suspicious at and net usage. Real quick, does anybody know what those two processes are? And you can put your answers in the chat. You can answer it like Dora the Explorer, but 1, 2, and 3. I have no idea, but AI does. Right here, it says this could be used for lateral movement. So it's really cool. It's able to identify weird processes and their ability in the attack chain. Right here, it also says processes like at, net, and 7z. These are less commonly seen in your environment and suspicious in nature. Next, we get these wonderful remediation recommendations. So right here, it's saying, hey, victim 1 is running processes like VPN software, which is less commonly seen. While not inherently malicious, it should still be inspected. So with our AI, what's very interesting is that it creates a new baseline for each of our customers. We do not ever look at that baseline. We don't use it to feed our own threat intel. That is your guys's. We passed our hands, wash our hands clean. It is your guys's. And so for it to say, hey, this isn't very commonly seen, that's just for your environment. Maybe I use it all the time. Now, it also provides us with suggested response sections. So right here, it's saying, all right, go ahead and block that remote task scheduling. Isolate victim 1 network-wise. Fire, no, it doesn't say that. But it gives us steps on what we need to do in order to recover our endpoint. So guys, here's the thing with AI. We're using it in a capacity where it's your coworker. It is not meant to be a replacement. It's just your coworker that you guys are working side by side to respond to these alerts. So I'm going to skip over some of my slides just because we already covered it right here. You guys do have the ability to train your own model. And what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, we are getting a handful of false positives. Let's say we're seeing a lot of people, they're using VPN to log in from a jump box to come in. Well, typically that might be a little weird, right? And so the AI might say, hey, it's very weird. Jeff's logging in from North Carolina when he's based in Utah. But you can train the AI. You can say, hey, actually, that is very common for our users to do. So we talked about AI bias. We talked about how AI can get confused, but in this example, and in this case, you guys train it. So the idea is we never miss an alert. Most security staff, they only look at 10% of those alerts. And let's say you had 5 people working 8 hours a day for 40 hours. That means you're missing out on a lot of alerts. Where with Trellix Wise, Helix Wise, here we are raising the alert score so you can see them. And in this case, AI is so quick, it's able to do the work of 45 people. So finally, we do have enough help to get the job done. Out of 1,100 alerts per day and 65 events per alert, typically we say that takes the analyst about 5 seconds per event. So really, Amazon Bedrock, it's doing the work of 12 8-hour shifts. Now, I know I kept you guys over. I tried to keep it a little under wraps. You guys will have the ability to download this PowerPoint, but I do want to leave you with this. If there are any questions in the Q&A, please post them. If you are holding on to them or if you're feeling a little shy, please post them in there. But this is the next step in cybersecurity. This is how we're going to be able to catch for thousands of years, maybe longer. Attackers, they've been creating malicious binaries to get into our environment. Well, that's not going to be the case anymore. We're going to be able to catch them and respond to those alerts quickly. That's all I got. So, Ron, I am going to go ahead and pass it to you, brother.